Alright, so I'm back from vacation, my 2-week vacation, and if you've been following my channel, you remember the gnomes that I do, the holiday gnomes. Well, I've got a bigger and better holiday gnome that I've done now. This is the USA Gnome, and you can see I've got the 3-color base, red, white, and blue on the bottom. And this is my idea of how I would paint this. You can paint it any way that you want. And I haven't finished the back yet. I haven't done the final finish on the back, but got my little brand on the back there. And this is my final version of the USA Gnome. And you can see down here I've got the baseball bat and the baseball, the Statue of Liberty, and the Liberty Bell. So if you're interested in gnomes, this would be the video for you. I'm going to be showing you how I made this gnome today. I'll take you over to the other shop, show you cutting it out. It's a very quick project, easy to do, fun to do, great project if you have the kids or the grandkids. Make a few of them, let them each color them whatever way they want. I'll throw up some pictures at the end of the video where you can see the way that my partner Patrick's kids did them, and it's just really a fun project for the family as well. So let's jump into Lightburn. I'll show you how I did this and how I set this up, how I cut it out, and more pictures of the final product at the end. Short video today. Here we go. Okay, so here is my design of the gnome, and we'll get to putting it all together in just a minute, cutting it out and putting it together. I did make a video on the assembly of this, which can be quite daunting if you've never done one before. If you've done one of my other gnomes, then you'll be used to it, but this is it right here. And you can see if I select all of this here and we come up to the top over here, it's designed to be cut out of a 12-inch piece of wood, a 12 by 12 piece of wood. I'll put a link down below the video in the show more section of the wood that I used on Amazon to cut this out. This is a 3mm nominal wood. This one part down here, the top base, is not grouped together, so be careful here. You'll see that if I select this right here and come up to the top, I've got the height, and let me switch to millimeters, at 2.7 millimeters. Now I've done a couple of these. I cut out a couple of them, and some of them were 2.6, some of them were 2.7, in that area. I used my slot gauge to determine what size height this should be right here, and you'll probably want to do the same. So you can, if your wood is thicker than 2.6, let's take a quick measurement of the tab over here. I'll click on the ruler over here on the left hand side, and we'll look at the tab height. And let's zoom in here so I can get my mouse over it. So the length is 3.73 millimeters. And I will go ahead and, this one's 3.93. I don't know why they're two different sizes here. But what you can do is you can just take and duplicate this one here by pressing Control and the letter D, and you can paste it over into that one right over there. Not paste it, but move it over into this one over here. If I just press the period button, it'll turn it sideways, and then if I just grab, well, we'd have to ungroup those. Just grab these, ungroup them again. Alright, and I think we've got our final ungrouping done there. And then all we would have to do is come up here to the top, align it like that, align it like that. And now we've got the two pieces. So now, no matter what size this is, it's going to fit into these slots. And that's probably the best way to do it. I didn't have a problem fitting it in on mine, so you shouldn't have a problem on yours either. You could always just sand down the bottom if you like, make it easier, but that's an easy way to do it right there. Just add another slot to the next one on top. If you're not going to use these three over here, then that's okay. Just use it just the way it is and just sand down the bottom if it sticks out. Now on mine, I didn't push it all the way through. I just pushed it down until it hit the table, because you're going to have these feet right over here that are going to be covering this bottom part here. So all you have to do is put this one on the table right here and push this one into that slot until it hits the table. And then once you put the feet right here on the bottom across here, you won't notice the difference. So that'll work just fine just the way it is. You don't need to have this one over here unless you want to. I mean, that is an option. So this is designed to cut out of 12 by 12 wood. As I said, let me go over the layers real quick in case you want to know. So this is the green layer. The green is the stars on top and the stripe and the stripes. I did the first one. This is a 10 watt diode laser. It's the Rolly Lasermatic 10. I did it at 6,000 speed, millimeters per minute, 75% power to get a nice dark burn out of it. Then I did the line after fill. And I did the line at the same speed and power. So the line comes back around and it makes a nice distinct line in there. The blue layer, which is the Statue of Liberty, I did at the same speed and power, 6,075. And the red layer, I did a cut in line mode at 250 speed and 100% power on the 3mm wood. And everything came out just perfect. So you'll have to adjust these settings for your particular laser. If you have a 5 watt, or you'd have to slow down the speed. If you have a 20 watt, you'd have to increase the speed. You know, so it's completely based on your laser. I do have an art library that goes with this that has both the Gnome template over here and the base template if you want the 3-piece base as well. So that is really about it. Let's jump over into the cutting, the engraving and the cutting of this, and then we'll come back and I'll show you the assembly video. Alright, so let's get into the engrave. I've speeded this, well, this is actually real time right now, but I'm going to speed this up, there we go, and make this a little bit easier and quicker. It's just a short 3-minute video. If you want to skip over it, feel free. I am using the Rolly Lasermatic 10 right now. So the Lasermatic 10 is a precision laser, in my opinion, and in fact it is probably the most precision laser on the market. What I like about it is the honeycomb bed. It's a nice solid metal bed. It doesn't flex at all. It fits into perfectly perfect height standoffs. So you know that when you do your laser focusing, everything is focused perfectly. Now, the stars and the stripes that you see that are being done right now, those can be put onto a different layer and cut out. And of course you'd need another piece of wood, but you could cut out like 3 copies of those and give it a, you know, even more 3D look if you wanted to. So that's another alternative. You could cut those out, and feel free to, you know, redesign the file whatever way that you want. So it's now finishing up on the engraving, and it's going to move on in a second to the cutting. And the best thing about this laser, like I said, is the precision. Now we're doing the line after fill, and I'm going to slow this back down again to real time so that you can see it creates a really nice distinction on the outside of the engraving, the line after fill, which is just another layer. It's just an added layer in the layer itself. So now that it's finished with that line after fill and the Statue of Liberty, it's going to move on to the cut. And here we get started with the cut. And again, because of the precision and the library that I created for this, you know, I know that I can just drop a piece of wood on here and set the power and the speed from the library, and it's going to work just perfectly and cut everything out. You can see everything just dropping out. And I've done a couple of these, so you know, I know that it's going to work perfectly. And that's it. So that I'm not going to go too much further with this. You know, I don't think everybody wants to see every single part being cut out, but this is what you would expect would happen with the Lasermatic 10. And that is, I think, probably about all that I'm going to show of this particular video. So let's move over to the assembly. Okay, so excuse me, here is the final. I've just put the base on this. It's a friction fit, and I just wanted to show you the assembly on this. It's really pretty straightforward. Let's see. So here are all my parts, which you can't see. It's out of the frame, but I'll go through them as I put them on. So we're going to start with the beard, and I'm just going to show you how these go. So I'll put the beard right there, and then we've got the two spacers. The two spacers go right on top here, right where they fit, like that. So we've got the beard, and then we've got the mustache, and that goes up against there. And again, this is just to show you the assembly, and actually there are three spacers. So this one goes on top, 1, 2, 3. And next comes the nose, which I've got up here. So let's drop the nose on there. And then we've got our guide for the other figures that we're going to put on here. So let's drop our guide down here at the bottom. And actually, let me stand up so I can see this better. The guide goes right up against the bottom, this part right here. And then on top of that, we've got the Liberty Bell. That is the spot for the Liberty Bell. We've got the baseball and the bat, which goes over here, and you'll see how they fit. The tops are all the same shape, and then the Statue of Liberty goes on top of that, like so, on top of the two pieces. And then we've got one hand that goes on this side, like that. One hand on this side, like that. And as you're gluing these together, you know, it's a little bit easier. I'm going to paint and glue that whole piece first. So now this whole piece needs to scoot up a bit because I did put it in the wrong place. Needs to scoot up by the beard up there because the feet go down here up against the bottom. Now I can scoot this back down again like that. You can get them lined up again, and there is our whole piece right there. All right, so that is about it. Again, this is my final product here, and I did get a little bit of bleed up here on the white stripes because I used red magic marker here instead of paint. So the magic marker bled when I put on the finish. And if you're curious what the finish is on this, this is the Rust-Oleum, now I'm forgetting the name, Rust-Oleum triple coat. So Rust-Oleum triple coat gives it Rust-Oleum glaze, clear glaze, that's what it is. I think it's called triple coat glaze, yes. I'll verify that and I'll put it down the bottom if I'm wrong. But you can see what a beautiful finish it puts on the products here. And a couple of quick tips on the bottom. So on the bottom I used regular wood glue, and I glued the three pieces up on the bottom, red, white, and blue, the base. That's an extra, you don't need to have it. You can cut this out just as is and just use that black base, layer number 1. I put the extra 3 layers on the side, as I said in the video, and you can use them if you want. glue them all together. I prefer having a sturdier, heavier base, and especially when you're displaying this in the house, if your wood is thin enough, just a breeze can knock it over. So that's why I did the extra base down below on the bottom. But you don't have to do that. You can do it with just one base if you want. And that's really about it. No real tips. I did paint all of these pieces down here. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see that the baseball bat is painted with brown and black, and the Statue of Liberty is green. USA is red, white, and blue. The letters, I know that's very hard to see on the Statue of Liberty in there, very small. I used a fine point paint marker, and I used a brown on the hands. So all of this is painted. Everything is painted on here, and the stars, of course, are white. You can put them wherever you want. You can add more stars if you want to. You don't have to use the stars if you don't want to. But again, this is just another one in my gnome collection. I am going to do a smaller version that also goes with my small version right here. So here you can see the difference between the two. Quite a big difference between the two of them. But I do have these for every holiday, and I will be pushing one out for just about every holiday. You've already seen I think the Easter gnome and the Valentine's Day gnome, and I don't remember what else. But as time goes by, I'm going to push these out one at a time, and I'm going to make a video on how I put it together. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video today as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm back from vacation. I'll be doing more videos. And as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.